Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is an exciting day. We got our chicks delivered today from Farm & Fleet, 1 day late. So, taking a look here, you can see we're missing our salmon Favorel chicks because of a United States Postal Service delay. There was a high mortality rate here with the salmon Favorel chicks, but those were optioned out, substituted with some other chicks here. So instead of the 15 chicks that I was supposed to get, 5 salmon Favorels, 5 Buff Orpingtons, and 5 New Hampshire Reds, I ended up with two Americanas, black Americanas, which are beautiful birds, 2 lavender Orpingtons right there, little cutie, and right there. And I ended up with the New Hampshire Red. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them for sure. And then Buff Orpingtons, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those, I believe. So that should get us to 16, if I did my math correct. Some of these birds are kind of tough to tell, but honestly, yes, I do miss the salmon Favorels not having them, but I'm really excited to have the lavender Orpingtons because they're such a rare bird, and you could already see with their coloring, their lavender color, it just looks really cute. I don't know why these Buff Orpingtons are picking on that smaller lavender Orpington there, but I'm really hoping here that every single one of these birds grows. You know, that's what we all want. And man, I'm really surprised here when I got these birds. They were this morning, a few hours ago, honestly, about, I don't know, 5-6 hours ago. They were really quiet and lethargic. And I put down some food. I filled it to the brim. Now, granted, they kind of knocked some of it out, but oops, hey, little guy or little girl. But they've eaten a lot of food so far, and they've drank quite a bit of water there as well. Isn't that right, little one? So that's good. And this water is filled with the starter chick fluid. I'll show you the box here in a little bit, but that is filled with that. They haven't quite figured out this yet because they are pretty much newly hatched chicks, but I'm impressed here, and I'm really curious to see how this is going to go. This is what I used here was Flock Leader Arrive Daily Water Supplement for Healthy Start. For chicks, this is, of course, probiotic and prebiotic. So I put this in the in this little water here for them. And along with that, I put VetRx in that. I use VetRx and everything. This is the medicated chick crumble here from Calmback Foods or Feed, which I really love. Calmback Feed. That is very good value for the money, and it is really good food that my chicks and chickens love. So this is the medicated feed here, and the little chicks here are just loving it. I also use Calmback for my hens as well, and they seem to absolutely love that. But these little chicks have livened up so much since this morning when I brought them in, and I'm curious to see how they're going to grow here within the next few days. But it appears here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 New Hampshire Reds, which is interesting. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I counted wrong. 8 Buff Orpingtons. So we've got a ton of Orpingtons here, which is okay. I'm totally okay with that. Orpingtons are great birds. Americanas too, and then the 2 lavender Orpingtons. I'm really curious to see how those beautiful birds are going to turn out. They almost have like a purplish hue right now on the top of their head, which is pretty unique. Of course, I did put I just took this out of an area where it was room temperature, so I just put it in here. So of course it's going to be warmer than 80, and I have my little heater on right there. I have a little window open for ventilation here, and then of course I have my heater on, my heat lamp on. But these birds are just eating the food like no other, so they should really start to kind of sprout here within the next few days or whatever. since I've never, the smallest chicks I've ever owned were silkies, and they were about 3 weeks old when I got them. So I guess I'm not sure what some of these birds do when they lay down like this. I truly don't know when they're laying down like that. I don't know if they're trying to sleep or what, but here we've got just a little, literally a bird's eye view. Oh, what's going on? And that little buff Orpington, she's like, what the heck is going on? Little lavender Orpington right there. They're still young enough still where they're not, you know, gonna outgrow this. Eventually I'd like to put them in the coop outside, but of course that all takes time, of course. But it appears to me that everybody is doing fine and drinking water, which is critical, absolutely critical, that they got some of this probiotic and prebiotic in their system, because it's important to have that and just get some nutrients in them as well with the food. So we're gonna go outside, and I want to show you where I will eventually put these little chicks. Well, taking a look here, you can see we've got a ton of snow left still, especially, oh, there's Onyx. She heard me coming. Hey, Onyx. How's it going? Onyx is our little silky friend here. We're actually going to go in here, just check on everybody. I gave them some scraps, and they appeared to just flip this over. But anyway, this is not, oh, and on it, or Elvis, he was on top of that. There's another little silky. Sorry, Onyx, I got nothing for you. So anyway, going over to where we're going to keep those little chicks eventually. I ended up getting rid of 2 of my beautiful, whoever he is, I'm not totally sure. I ended up getting rid of, oh, there he is. 2 of my beautiful foghorn leghorns, and leghorns are just brutal birds, so he got pretty injured, and now he's doing a lot better. Hopefully nothing gets infected, but if the time comes, I'll have to get rid of him too, which is too bad. But they were just all getting too aggressive, and I needed space for more chicks. So what I ended up doing was buying this nice, like 113-inch coop off of Amazon, and this thing is huge. It's not as tall as this coop here, but it still provides more than enough space for these chicks eventually when the time comes, and when, you know, they can kind of move in here, especially to be free from harm from him for the time being until they get older. I mean, this is a lot of room for those 15 little chicks once they grow up. Of course, roosting bar right there, a roosting bar right there. There is a really nice area back there for them to lay when the time comes. But my thinking is, you know, once this area is snow-free and frost-free, I'll just rip apart that little fence right there, and then we'll just have 2 separate coops for the birds. Eventually I am getting turkeys too, so I'm going to move that little shelter back into this area for the turkeys, and then you know, they can roost up in there or whatever. But he wasn't too fond of me putting together this coop today, honestly. But this is going to be a great area for those 16 birds, and because there's areas for, once I get, again, this coop cleaned out, it's all just bird poop in there right now, they're going to be able to nest in here, which is awesome, and they're going to be able to roost in here at night, which is awesome. They're going to have areas to kind of go back into at night, which is awesome, you know, areas over there, and then this whole big huge area here too, which is pretty sweet. Now I wish this was a little bit taller, but it is what it is. It definitely gives the birds enough room to roost and be safe in and be warm, which is ultimately, you know, what they want. But more than enough room here too. We got 4 nesting boxes in this little coop area now, and then we've got 6 And oh, there goes Onyx. She is definitely the most curious one. But we've got 6 in that larger coop. So I'm curious to see once those chicks get about a month old and once the weather warms up here into the 60s, how they're gonna like it outside. I'm pretty dang curious here. So yeah, that's the little chicken update. I got those chicks. I'm very excited. I've always wanted lavender Orpingtons, which were really nice that they substituted those in because they're quite expensive. And of course Americanas too. Just couldn't quite pull the trigger on it, but I'm pretty happy that I got them. So with that being said, he and I will see you in the next one. Take care.